Most people make the mistake of thinking that the more time they give a client, the more attached the client will become. But that's not how emotional attachment works. If you're too available, too predictable, or too easy to reach, the client will take your presence for granted. But when you control availability the right way, they will stay hooked, chase you, and feel like they need to work to keep your attention. Today, I'll show you the exact strategy to keep a client invested without overgiving, without chasing, and without making them feel like they're in control. The first step is breaking the pattern of instant replies. If a client always knows that you'll respond quickly, they will stop valuing your attention. The trick is to vary your response times. Sometimes you reply fast. Other times you take your time. If they start noticing that your attention is not guaranteed, they will start valuing it more. The human brain gives more importance to things that feel unpredictable. The second step is pulling back slightly after an emotional high. When a conversation is going well, when they are laughing, opening up, or feeling engaged, most people keep pushing to continue the momentum. But smart persuaders do the opposite. You leave at the high point. If you stay too long, the emotional impact fades. But if you say something like, "I like talking to you, I'll catch up with you later," while the energy is still high, they leave still wanting more. And when someone is left wanting more, they will think about you even when you're not there. Next, create gaps in availability, but not too much. If you are always present, they won't feel the need to reach out. If you disappear completely, they will lose connection. The trick is controlled distance. You engage just enough to keep them attached, but you also create moments where they have to wonder where you are. This makes them more invested in reaching out to you, because they don't want to lose your attention. Now, let's talk about giving them something to look forward to. If every conversation starts and ends in the same predictable way, there's no reason for them to stay engaged long-term. But if you create a feeling of unfinished business, they will always want to continue talking. The trick is to plant curiosity in your last message. Instead of just saying, "Talk later," say, "I'll tell you something interesting next time." Now their brain keeps thinking about the next conversation, and that keeps them emotionally hooked. Another powerful tool is controlled validation. If you always make a client feel special, the effect wears off. But if you give selective validation, they will crave it. One day, you casually compliment them. "You're interesting to talk to." Another day, you don't give them any validation at all. This creates a push-pull effect. They start wondering when they will get the next sign of approval. And when people seek validation, they stay engaged. One of the strongest psychological triggers is interrupting patterns. If a client feels like they fully understand your rhythm, they stop thinking about you as much. But when you change small things in your approach, they stay engaged. If you always text a certain way, switch it up slightly. Maybe send a voice note or use a different style. If they feel like there's always something slightly unexpected about you, their brain stays focused on you. Finally, never let them feel like they fully have you. If a client ever feels like you are 100% invested in them, they stop trying. But when they feel like they are still earning your time and attention, they stay hooked. The key is to give just enough warmth to keep them engaged, but always leave a little room for them to chase. So here's the full strategy. Break the pattern of instant replies so they don't take your attention for granted. Pull back slightly after an emotional high to leave them wanting more. Create controlled gaps in availability to make them invest more. Give them something to look forward to by planting curiosity. Use selective validation so they crave your approval. Interrupt patterns so they stay engaged. Never let them feel like they fully have you so they keep chasing. Once you master this, clients won't just stay interested, they will feel like they need to earn your time. And when someone feels like they are earning your attention, they value it even more. If you want advanced strategies on emotional control and long-term persuasion, I break everything down inside my private group. If you're serious about mastering this, the link is in the description.